Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. It's Juli coming to you live from Laval. As usual, every week, those of you who know me know that I bring a business partner to my page so I can share their journey. If it's the first time watching here and tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. And if you're already a follower as well. But for those of you who haven't met me before, my name is Julieta. I work in construction as an engineer. And since 2 years now, I am a digital business owner. I have started this journey of the online space like many other have, and I'm really loving everything about it. So every week I try to bring different people on my page so they share their journey. Today I have a lovely business partner. Her name is Nikki, and without further ado, I will invite her in. Here she is. Hi, Nikki.
Everybody.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being with me here today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So, Nikki, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like I say, I always invite people so they share their journey, whatever they like to talk about themselves and share with us. How is it that so many people are working online these days? Besides, I don't know, some have professions or full-time jobs, like in my case. And so, a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about me. Okay, well, I live in Ontario. I'm actually originally from Alberta, but I met my husband, fell in love, and moved from big city Edmonton to little town of Chatham. And so I've been here about, oh, geez, close to 25 years now.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm 52 years old. I have a couple of teenagers. We met a little later in life, so we started a little bit later, but that's good. They keep us young. And yeah, I've had a really wide background in terms of the things I've done professionally and the things that I've been exposed to. And now I just enjoy spending my time working online, traveling, hanging out by the pool. We like to RV. Um, yeah, that's about it for me personally. Nothing too super exciting.
No, but it's great. It's good having a wide background. In my case, I've always worked in construction, so coming into a digital space was really something different. And in your case, what made you look for something different? My light.
Well,
What? Yeah.
when I moved out here, I worked for the railway back in Edmonton for basically
Okay.
my whole career, but in many departments. So I had a pretty good background, and I was primarily in human resources, that type of thing. So when I moved out here, um, had to start again in human resources and work my way up. So I started with a new startup company, worked my way up. That didn't work out. I left there. Went to a government health and safety job. That didn't work. I left there. And the pattern continued. And so I found that I was starting over a lot. And about 2018, 2019, I decided I didn't want to do human resources anymore. It was getting very stressful. The place I was at was wonderful, but there was just so much turnover and so much negativity, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I moved back over into sales because I've run my own business. I've been in direct sales. I've done such an array of things. I decided I'd try sales again, thinking that's where I would retire from and I would build my income with this sales company. Because, when you start in sales, especially when it's base plus commission for a company, it takes a while to build your clientele and
Yeah.
build your income. Well, I wasn't even not quite a year in when the events of 2020 happened in the spring, and I was downsized. And so here
Wow.
I had spent a whole year literally working my butt off for these people, training, learning a whole new thing, acquiring all kinds of clients so that my next year would be my good year, right? I was building relationships, and then boom, I was done. And I
Mm.
thought, I don't want to start over again. I just don't. So I started looking online, and I had looked online before for things, nothing really seemed to fit. And, like a lot of people, I was skeptical. But
Mm-hmm.
then I came across this, and I don't know, just everything about it just told me this is what you need to do. So I didn't get another job. I just dove back in and decided this is what I'm going to do. And I don't regret it. It's been the greatest decision I think
And
I've ever made.
since you talked about that you looked elsewhere online, what made you trust the system compared to other opportunities that you found? What was it that attracted you to this business? Or yeah, maybe it could have attracted you, but what made you trust on the system that we provide?
Yeah. So, no matter what you're trying, whether you're starting with a new employer or whether you're starting online or starting your own business, there's a certain amount of sort of leap of faith that you have to take, right? You kind of got to go with your gut. And so, what I really liked about the way that I was introduced to this was that, hi, Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle,
Someone's
she's
saying
watching
hi.
for us.
So the way I was introduced to it through the webinar, the people that were on the webinar, I could tell they weren't actors. I could tell they were real people telling their stories and talking from their heart. And that really meant a lot to me. And I dug around, right? I did my homework.
Yeah.
And I found a lot of people that I was contacting and talking to and watching. Those people were all genuine. And I could tell, my gut was telling me these people are honest, genuine people filled with integrity, including the people that were sort of, running the show kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I looked into the system itself and I thought, okay, what am I missing? Like there's something I'm missing. I need to check, because everything else I had checked into, I thought, well, this sounds good. This sounds good, until it didn't. Until suddenly I started thinking, okay, so you're going to sell me X, a course, for example. You're going to certify me to do this. And then what? Then I have to build my own website,
Yes.
build my own funnel, find my own clients. Like, I didn't know how to do any of that. So I thought, am I capable? Sure. Is it going to be a ton of work? Absolutely. Do I know how? No. So with this system, I was like, okay, they're going to give me the training. They're going to give me the system. They're going to stay and hold my hand if I need them to. They've already got things in place. I can just sort of walk in and do it.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, that reminds me a lot of when I used to do direct selling, right? Where I would purchase a product at wholesale and sell it at retail, which I was very, very good at. But the problem with that always was, sure, I could make product sales, but I had to be constantly working, constantly getting new clients, constantly getting referrals, constantly selling product to make any kind of decent income. And then I had to recruit a team, which I'm fine with that too. I was always good with that. But the problem is, and this is with most direct selling companies, you build a team, you increase the amounts you earn, you move up in levels, you get, in my case, I got a car, you get all these extra bonuses, you get all these things. And then you think, oh, this is great. And then a couple of your team members have babies, or a couple of them move on to something else, because just like in any business, there's turnover, right? People come, they go. Everything is not for everybody. Not everybody stays for their life. And all of a sudden you find yourself floundering to maintain what you've done, and you're sliding backwards. You're slipping back. All of a sudden you worked all this way and then you're slipping back. And that was the problem I always had. Was I always thought, when do I get to ease up a little bit? When do I get to sort of relax? And if I do relax, sort of like when you're in a busy job, if you take 2 weeks off, it's not worth it, because you come back and there's a pile on your desk this high and the whole world has fallen apart. So that's kind of what direct selling was like. With this system, you don't slide backwards and you don't have to rely on other people. And that's what made me trust it. That's what made me say, this is the one, because I only have to worry about me. I can worry about me and what I'm doing. And if other people are along for the ride, that's fantastic. And I love how, we can collaborate and work in groups. but I don't have to rely on anyone else. And I
No.
don't ever have to worry about the company saying, oh, sorry about your luck. You know, you didn't do X in such amount of time, so we're stripping you of your titles. Like, we don't have that, right? So for
No.
me, that was huge. That was a game changer for me.
Yes, it absolutely what you're saying. Like we never lose what we work for. It's going to be always there for me. And even if we take a break, like the example you gave is absolutely. I always say holidays never come at the right moment, because
Right.
every time there's a Monday off or a Friday off, oh my God, it's like instead of saying, "Oh, nice, long weekend," it's like I'm just thinking about going back and having everything to do because I didn't work one day, you know.
Exactly,
It's
exactly. And with
crazy.
this, we don't have any time limits. We don't have any quotas. We don't
No.
have any minimums. So not only can we take the time off, but even when we're off, because so much of it is automated, we don't
Yeah,
come back to a big pile because it's all working for us anyway.
exactly.
You know,
Yes.
we can take 15 minutes while we're on vacation, check in at our computer, and everything's running smoothly. Like I I am so, if I have one regret about this business, it's that I didn't find it 20 years
Sooner.
ago.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think we all have the same regrets, mostly everybody. And Nikki, since you talk about the flexibility and the taking time, how much time do you put in the business per day, or if even if you do it every day? I don't know.
So it varies. So because I'm not working, obviously I have a lot of time I can give to my business. And because I love it, I do a lot of things. But it's interesting because the whole time I worked for someone else, I would put in 40, 50, 60 hours a week, take work home with me, think about work when I was at home, bring the stress home, and thought that's what you do. I'm dedicated. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And it was hard on my marriage. It was hard on my health. It was hard on a lot of things. So, one of the things that I've made a conscious effort to do in doing this business is I make some sort of exercise, even if it's just going for a walk, um, or going and, walking, swimming in the pool or whatever, something fun. It doesn't have to be going to the gym because I'm not a gym person, but I make that part of my day
Yeah.
and I consider that part of my work day.
Yeah.
I make eating healthy a part of my work day because now I have time to do that. Whereas before I'd be like shoving a donut in my face as I ran from one meeting to the next, right?
Yeah.
So I make sure I take time to eat. I get up with my kids and I make them breakfast. No more, here's the cereal, get yourself out the door. I get up and I make them breakfast. I spend time with my husband. My husband works shift work. So if he has a day off, I might decide that's my day off too, and I might only work half an hour that day.
Great.
There are sometimes things come up that I have to do, but as a rule, I would say I don't have to work more than an hour or two a day. And I don't have to do that every day. Now, there are weeks where I'm busier, and obviously, busy is good, right?
Yeah.
There are weeks where I commit to things like doing interviews or helping other people or whatever. And then, I could book myself a little bit more heavily. But I mean, really, I just kind of go day by day, week by week, and what's going on with my family. And before I lost my job, my husband and I went through a really rough patch. And so when I lost my job, things were not fantastic for a lot of reasons. And so having this freedom gave us the chance to travel. He had a month off last summer, and I never can take a month off in my job. We were
That's
able to travel with our kids and have a month-long holiday. Do you know how
nice.
good that is for a couple that's been married 20 years to have a month together with their kids? Like, we all came back feeling so much closer and so much better. And then even just day to day now, when you're both working, you're busy, then he's busy. You're tired, then he's tired. Want to do something he doesn't want to. And you just never, it's really hard to sync. Or suddenly the kids need something or whatever. Now we can make time for each other so easily that it's made, it almost feels like we're retired, even though we're not retired. And it's made our whole, like, we're like newlyweds again, which is, I mean,
Yeah,
really awesome.
that
Really
is
awesome.
great.
Great
Yeah,
side effects. Yeah.
that's what I enjoy a lot, like being able to make your life or the business actually revolve around your schedule, your life, because we do not have a fixed schedule, like you said, half an hour here, half an hour there. In my case, I mainly do what I have to do at night. Even if I have my meetings with my teams, usually is at the after my work day actually, and after everything is taken care of, homework, studies, and all that. But I put the hours that I want to put, that whatever needs to be done. But because you have nobody behind you saying, okay, today is this, today is that, it's this much time, that much time, this report, that's it's yeah. And forget it, if you work corporate, you're, like you said, you'll never have a month to take off, at least a whole month in continuation. That is really, really the flexibility of this business. It's incredible, and so many people take advantage of it, because we see it, in our chats, in our business partners. We all talk about the same thing: the flexibility, the gain of time, connection with your people, your friends or family,
Yeah.
especially now that everything's starting to open up again a little bit. That gives us, because we had the chance to build, because of this pandemic, so many people started working online, that we grew exponentially. And since we were always inside, there was a period where I wasn't working either at the beginning, so I had the chance to build my business and do a lot during that time. And
Right.
yeah, I was,
Right. And
yeah,
I mean, whether you're working or not working, you can combine this business with your life too.
yes,
So, I know a lot of people that work a day job, and then, like me, when they go for their walk, they have their headphones in, they're listening to a training session, or they're listening to a podcast, or they're having a conversation with someone while they're
yeah,
getting their exercise in. You can't do that with most companies, right? Or,
absolutely.
there we have a lot of meetings that we have that are recorded, so you can watch them late at night or early in the morning. It's very flexible for everyone's schedule. And I mean, like any business, I don't mean to make it sound like it's not work, because there is work,
Yes,
absolutely.
yeah,
And like any business, the beginning is when you put in the most time, because you're learning, you're training, you're expanding your knowledge, you're getting better at things. But as it goes on, like I've been just over a year and a half now, and I've really kind of settled into a flow where I know what has to be done, what's important, what can wait.
yeah,
It's fantastic, and that's why we see so many people quitting their jobs, because they realize, oh my gosh, this is way better. I'm just going to leave that behind.
yeah, yeah,
And I don't think a
totally.
lot of people start with that intention, but then they get in there and go, well, this is more than just a little extra part time. Like, I can really do this. This is great.
Yes, the potential is, it's really whatever you want to make the potential to be, but really the potential is it's enormous. But you have to put in the work. Like you said, absolutely. We're given like a business in a box, and we have to learn how to use it. And you said a great thing before, because I work full time still, and I always try to make my, when I advertise or when I do my post and stuff, try to make people understand that even if you have a full-time job, a busy schedule, you can still do this business because of the flexibility that it has, and the possibility of working your hours as you go, building your own little schedule, and maybe one day more than another, but making it work for you. That's the, I mean, the main reason why we start something, because we already have busy lives and full agendas, right? We don't have time for extra things. But you have to at one point make a little bit of time to start something, because you do have to learn, set up your business. It took me about, I think, 3 weeks maybe to set up, go through the training and stuff, because like you said before, our training is spectacular. It's so simple to follow. It's video based, step by step. And I like the video based because I'm not the kind that will read and remember what I read. So I have to go back, and I'm very visual. So having a video that I can work on my computer at the same time, setting my business with a video on the side, that is priceless for me, because that's how I learn better.
Yeah, me too. I learn by listening. I could recite back a whole movie to you, but I could read 3 pages of a book and not tell you what I just read half the time.
Yes.
So I totally get that. Well, and the other thing too is, I talk to people and they say, well, I'm already working full time, but groceries are expensive, gas is expensive. So I think I'm going to get a part-time job instead of doing, and I go, okay, well, let's talk about that. Where are you going to work? Well, I'm going to work at Tim Hortons. Okay. And they're going to pay me $15 an hour. Well, when are you going to work? Well, Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and 4 hours on Saturday. So I'm like, okay, well, what if your kid has dance on Saturday? What if, Monday night you don't feel like working because you've been working all day? At least with this, you can take that 12 hours or whatever you were going to give to some employer for $15 an hour and put it into yourself when it works for you.
Absolutely.
And
yes.
the outcome is so much greater, right? Like,
Totally.
It's not overnight. You don't get a paycheck the first week, but you set up your stuff, you get moving forward, and in the long run, over the course of time, you will likely make more and be happier.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people try to work a second job, and generally speaking, it doesn't get them that much further ahead. By the time they're paying the gas to get there, and they're miserable, and they have to order pizza for the kids because they can't feed them dinner. And I mean, there's just so many, it's not for everyone, but if someone thinks it's for them, I would say try it. Try it for sure.
Yes, totally.
I can't say enough good things.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I say always the same thing. We try to explain to people, because we speak with passion, right? I listen to you, and it's obvious that you're so passionate about this business, but everyone has to make up their own decision, and the more informed they are, the better. Like, I did my homework as well when I started, and like Googled that left and right, and talked. When I entered the community, I tried to message the most people possible. Some, now I know that we're very busy people, so some would get back to me very fast, some didn't, but everybody at the end ends up responding, because our community, that's how it works. We try to support each other, especially when there's new people coming in. And today we have our workshop, weekly workshop. It's Thursday, so
I forgot it was Thursday today.
yes, it's Thursday. So Nikki, would you like to invite everybody to our presentation?
Absolutely. If anyone is thinking at all about this business, or is even just curious about it, the best thing they can do is to click on the link and sign up and watch the webinar, because I mean, you get to hear from real people, you get to hear a little bit about it. And if you're not intrigued, you've lost a few minutes of time. But if you are intrigued and you move forward, I can tell you from personal experience, you said I'm passionate about this business, and I am passionate about the business. But what I'm really passionate about is what this business has done for my life. I am happier and healthier, and people tell me I look better than I ever have, and I'm 52 years old. And I'm not a skilled technical person, right? So I was a little scared. Like, I've worked in offices, but there's always someone to ask, right? If something starts working, you get the IT guy to come over and help you. I'm not good with the back end stuff. And so I was a little scared. And like you said, the training's been great. So I would recommend anyone who's even thought about this for a minute, that's your first step. Check it out. If, like me, your gut tells you, hey, this sounds kind of interesting, go for it. You'll know right away if it's something that intrigues you or not.
Yes. And besides, it's the step that Nikki took, that I took, same step. We've all watched a presentation. I watched live, and I've watched replays as well, because I liked the panel, which I had the chance to be in the panel in January, and I loved the experience. So it's obvious I'm not an actor or an actress, whatever, and we're we're not comfortable on camera, or we are a little bit, but we get used to it. But
we're getting better.
we get better. Yes, practice makes perfect. That's what they say. But yeah, so it's obvious that the people that you're going to see there are not actors at all. So you'll be able to tell that. And if you watch the presentation I was in, you're going to see me that I stumble upon my words, and we make mistakes. I had technical issues that day. I remember it was so funny and stressful because it was the first time going on the webinar, and oh my gosh, just that day. But that's it. And yeah, it's like Nikki says, you'll know if what you see is at least makes you intrigued to look further. If not, perfect. It's like anything. It's like anything. This is not a profession, it's a business, but not everybody is meant to be a doctor. Not everybody is meant to be a lawyer or whatever. Not everybody is meant to be a digital business owner. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Totally.
But we can't all be doing the same thing. Everybody has to have their lane, for sure.
Yeah.
But I also liked on the webinar, I love that there's no investment other than your time up front that is not fully refundable. So there's no risk, right?
Yes.
They're going to open the doors for you and lay everything out on the table and show you everything that we've got before you ever have to even think about investing in yourself. And with a lot of the places that I looked at before, a lot of them were like, oh yeah, just trust us, just give us your money. And there was no, once I paid, that was it. If I didn't like it, it was like, too bad for you. And it was sometimes $5,000, $6,000, $7,000.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, it'll be great for you. And I'm like, oh, I'm not comfortable with that. So it goes back to that trust factor. So yes, everyone who's watching, wherever you're from in the world, my advice to you, watch the webinar and do it tonight. Just do it.
Yeah. Tonight it's 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific, and I think those are the two time zones I know.
6 Mountain. It's 6 Mountain.
Yeah.
That one I know too.
Nikki, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. You have a lovely energy, and I loved having you on my page. Thank you so much. And I wish you a wonderful end of the day. And well, tomorrow's Friday, but anyway, have a great weekend.
Thanks so much. You too. Thanks for having me. Bye, everybody.
Bye.